Welcome back, science fans. Have you ever wondered how the President of the United States can authorize a nuclear strike at a moment's notice? The answer lies in a mysterious briefcase known as the nuclear football. In this video, we're going to take a look inside and uncover its secrets. So what exactly is the nuclear football? Officially known as the Presidential Emergency Satchel, the nuclear football is a black briefcase that follows the president everywhere and contains all the information needed to authorize a nuclear attack. It follows the president wherever he goes, even when he's away from the White House. The football was first introduced during the Kennedy administration in the early 1960s, following the Cuban Missile Crisis. That crisis showed them that the president needed to have immediate access to nuclear launch codes at all times. Since then, it has been an essential part of the president's entourage. It's always carried by a military aide who has undergone specialized training to ensure they can handle any situation that arises. The aide remains close to the president at all times, whether on Air Force One or if he's enjoying personal time somewhere, like playing golf. Yes, they're always by his side. Now let's dive into what's inside this briefcase. Contrary to popular belief, it doesn't contain a big red button that launches missiles. Instead, it holds 4 critical items. First is the Black Book. This contains a list of potential nuclear strike options. Each option includes multiple plans with different levels of destruction. The Decision Book. These are instructions for the emergency broadcast system, which allows the president to communicate with military commanders and the public during a crisis. Next, we have the authentication codes. These are the codes that verify the president's identity and authorize the nuclear launch order. They are sometimes referred to as the biscuit, which is a separate card carried by the president. Finally, are the communication tools. These are secure communication devices that allow the president to instantly contact the National Military Command Center and other key officials. So how does the process work? Let's consider a hypothetical scenario to see the nuclear football in action. It's the year 2026, and the geopolitical tension between the US and Russia has escalated to a critical point. The war in Ukraine is still in a stalemate, so the US has given the Ukrainians a green light to fire US-made missiles deep into Russian territory. The US is also providing real-time intelligence and logistical support for these attacks. But in this game of geopolitical chess, Russia sees this as a direct attack on its homeland. This is no longer a proxy war. America has crossed Russia's red lines. In the early hours of the morning, intelligence reports confirm that Russia has launched a nuclear missile aimed at Hawaii. The president, who is on the campaign trail, is immediately informed of the impending attack and has just 20 minutes to respond. Along with top advisors, he retreats to a secure, high-tech command center. During these few minutes, he knows the decisions he's about to make will decide the world's fate. This area is equipped with advanced communication systems, large screens displaying real-time data, and state-of-the-art defense technology. The nuclear football is right by the president's side. First, the president would urgently confer with military and civilian advisors, including the Secretary of Defense and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They would quickly assess the situation and discuss potential responses because in this high-pressure environment, every second counts. Any delay could mean catastrophic consequences, potentially allowing the incoming missiles to destroy US weapons before a retaliatory strike can be launched. After deciding on the appropriate course of action, the president opens the nuclear football. Inside, they find the Black Book, which outlines various targeting options. These include whether the US will hit major metropolitan areas or stick to military targets such as bases and missile silos. It also includes response protocols. These are step-by-step procedures for different retaliatory strikes, including strategic or tactical options. Next, it will include command and control procedures, which are instructions on how to communicate with the National Military Command Center, the Pentagon's primary control hub. The briefcase will also include emergency broadcast instructions. These are guidelines for using the emergency radio spectrum to communicate with the military. Finally, it also includes decision-making aids, providing the president with vital information to evaluate the consequences of different actions, including casualty estimates, retaliation scenarios, and the impact on Allied relations. Before the missiles are launched, the president needs to authenticate his identity to ensure that the order is legitimate. This is where the authentication codes, or biscuit, come into play. Although no one knows for sure, the president may have memorized these codes or keep them securely on his person at all times. Using these codes, the president verifies their identity with the National Military Command Center. The NMCC then sends the launch order to military units. These units are on a high alert, ready to push the button within minutes. The entire sequence, from decision to launch, can happen in under 10 minutes. How do we know all this? Well, these details were derived from historical accounts, statements by former officials, and declassified documents. This information gives us a glimpse into what happens if the inevitable occurs. If the president is incapacitated, the vice president would take over and use their own nuclear football. This redundancy ensures that the United States always maintains a credible nuclear deterrent, even in the most dire circumstances. You can now understand the gravity of the decisions that lie in the hands of the president. The decisions of this one man will shape the future of humanity itself. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel for more insights into the fascinating world of science, technology, and disasters. Until the next time!